Don't go broke at a nursing home. Larry Weiss rejoins me once again for the next segment here. And okay, Larry, I have to, before we get into elder advisors and more.
Don't put me on the spot because you know I'm nervous on live television, John.
I am going to put you on the spot a little bit because you said something and you went right over it in the last segment. So you drive a truck?
Yeah,
you said
I know.
That. You said, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Larry, and this isn't an insult.
No, keep going. I know.
It isn't good. It isn't bad. It's just I don't picture you in a truck. So describe your truck and what was the allure?
Well, that's the same thing Autumn Schneider said, because this is a great story. We had lunch with a lady and Autumn at lunch one day, and I pulled up in my Roush Nightmare 650 horsepower Super Crew, but it's real low color. It's red, chrome wheels. I mean, it's very, muted. Not.
So wait a minute. Now. I'm still not getting it.
Yeah.
The traction. Okay, I picture you, a nice conservative Mercedes.
No, that's Steve, the attorney, because he's better than the rest of us.
Okay, but you're a truck guy.
Well, I am.
Do you haul anything in it, or you just like the look?
I can't haul anything. My hands are too delicate. I can't pick up anything.
See, that's
but I can pick up 650 horse. That's the pickup. 650 horse.
So when it comes to merging, you're good.
If I need to get a box of nails at Lowe's, I got to go now. I can't wait. I got to go.
And that big box of nails, you got to fit it in the back of that bed.
Right.
Okay,
I can't scratch it.
I got
a rubber mat down for it. But Autumn's the same way. She said, I didn't know Larry was a truck guy. She said, no, Larry's not a truck guy. That's just a truck he's driving.
Okay. No, there you
Autumn
go.
was to give me the chops.
I think that's the way to put that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to business here. You always have great personal stories because I think a lot of times people they may think about real estate and power of attorney and other things that are certainly involved, but the emotional side of it and putting people's mind at ease is very important because when mom and dad are struggling, everybody struggles.
Yeah. And I was meeting with Janet yesterday. She's from Laconia. I was talking to someone. I said she's from Corydon.
Laconia.
Yeah,
right
our
there.
records indicate Laconia. Like it's all the same. No, it's not. It's
Southern
Laconia.
Indiana. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, but the great thing here is mom is in an assisted living community that was a referral. They said, we know what Larry does. And the great thing there is, and it's something that I hardly ever talk about on live television, is it's good news because we're helping the family secure a VA benefit. There's a whole host of VA benefits. I don't know anything about all of them. There's probably 1,000, whatever. We specifically work with families if they're eligible for a VA aid and attendance.
For anything.
Yeah, we specifically work with the aid and attendance pension benefit, which is for veterans that served during a period of wartime. They didn't have to serve overseas. Grandpa could have been at Fort Knox the whole time of the Korean War. He's eligible, and his wife is as well. So, like Janet's mom is a widow, and she's eligible for $1,200 a month of tax-free income. And the great thing there is it helps offset your out-of-pocket expense, which is best realized when the client is getting home health care or they're in assisted living, because it helps offset, if not cover, the rest of the bill, which assisted living can be $2,500 to $3,500 a month typically. So if dad's the veteran, he's alive, and the wife is still alive, it's like $2,000, $2,100 tax-free money that we can bring to bear for the families. And that's also part of what we do, but it's hardly ever talked about, but only because you were talking about stories, and I was with Janet for an hour yesterday getting things lined up, getting everything so we were able to file for a VA pension benefit. Our eligibility is for June 1. And, it could take 3 or 4 or 5 months for VA to actually award that, but it's retroactive back to June 1. So if it takes 6 months, there's a nice windfall, $6,000, $7,000. Then after that, it's monthly. It's direct deposit into mom's account. It's tax-free income. But there's a lot of moving parts. VA changed the rules a couple of years ago. Naturally made it more difficult, not easier. But that's also on the pre-planning that we do. It's not always just a crisis, nursing home and stuff like that. And the beautiful thing about the aid and attendance pension benefit is, in my personal opinion, because I'm not an attorney giving legal advice, Steve, by the way, the attorney loves me saying that on live television. People, I'm not an attorney. I don't know. It's an attorney thing. I don't know. But I'm not an attorney. But the great thing is the aid and attendance pension benefit is, for my opinion, perfectly geared, perfectly suited when we're trying to keep mom at home with home health care. Or in assisted living, because if we can get them to assisted living, we can kind of get them straightened out, get them, socialized, because the TV at home isn't working. So we get into assisted living community, oftentimes that can be their forever home, and their care doesn't increase to where they have to go to long-term care. So the VA aid and attendance pension benefit is something that, I don't talk a lot about because I'm always distracted doing 30 other things, but can always go to thefreeworkshop.com and register for August, or they can always call me at 855-LARRY-55. It's always a free consultation. It's good news. It's a free consultation. They can come in and talk talk to us. I've got offices in Louisville and Southern Indiana.
So, Larry, you mentioned applying for veteran benefits that people may not be aware of.
Right.
But that's a big part of what you do, whether it be insurance, making sure that people get what they're due.
Absolutely.
Because they may not be aware. It's like, I didn't know that money was out there for me, and I'm perfectly eligible for this, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, and at both my offices, I have, you know, pretty much a library of referrals, you know, whether they're attorneys, accountants, tax attorneys, home health care, and I gave a brochure for Nancy Galloway's group, Senior Helpers. She's been on the show before because, you know, this family definitely needed home health care. They couldn't leave mom alone, and mom was married to a veteran. I'm like, well, then you need to call Nancy Galloway at Senior Helpers, because in that context, there was really nothing for me to do. But I always try to be, you know, at least a referral, a research referral for people, at least instead of someone going home, well, what do we do now? At least give them something to hang on to with the good news that we can help, at least vector them to where people can help them. Because it is stressful.
Yeah, Larry, you help families with their senior loved ones, but I think something else that has great value is if I'm a senior, I don't want to stress out my family either. I want to help them, and I may not be in the condition to help them. So therefore, I think there's a lot to be said for, hey, thank you, because I think the last thing anyone wants is to, as they're leaving, is to put their family through any kind of emotional stress.
Yeah.
And then you're helping there as well.
Absolutely. I was on the phone with Mr. Billy in Shepherdsville. I haven't met him, but I'm pretty sure he could beat me up in a New York second.
Not that truck of yours, though.
I'm pretty sure Billy in Shepherdsville, I'm pretty sure he's got a pickup truck.
Just the name alone. Billy from Shepherdsville.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't want to say any more because he'll probably know what I'm talking about.
That's a can of whoop-ass right there.
And let me tell you what, it ain't barrel-aged either. It is popping fresh dough, ready to go. But he wants to avoid...
I started this.
Yeah, can you focus, John?
I know. I need to focus. I apologize.
But Billy is all about pre-planning. One of his good friends, we were helping on the other extreme, crisis planning. We were still able to effect a plan. And he's like, I want to avoid this for my kids and my lovely wife, Linda. And so we're doing that. And he is locked and loaded, ready to go. We developed the plan. We've started it. I haven't even put it all together yet. I got to do some paperwork on it. But he knows enough about the problems. He's seen it firsthand. He said, I don't want any part of this for my kids. And that's when you were talking about that. You know, that, and he's been married 35 years. And my wife and I have been married 34 years. And so yeah, so he was proactive enough to realize he's seen these problems. His friend was, you know, singing the praises of elder advisors and Larry Weiss, and like, that's the guy I need to talk to. I called him last night at 5 o'clock. I was probably on the phone for a half hour mapping out a plan. And but yeah, he wants to avoid the problem. So that's what elder advisors brings to the table. And when you come to the workshops next month, you know, we always start with those 3 key questions. How many people have a loved one in a nursing home or about to go? And hands will go up. That's crisis planning. You're burning $7,000 to $10,000 a month. We can help. The VA is pre-crisis planning. We want to get some help. And then Billy in Shepherdsville is pre-planning. I simply want to get ahead of that. That's what we do at the workshops in August.
Yeah. I love Dear Dad, but I don't want him to leave a bad taste in my mouth because I had to spend all this money that I didn't need to spend, and I was not aware.
Don't have to.
I think it's a good angle there as far as, you know, folks, you know, pre-plan. It's a good idea.
Don't go broke in the nursing home. You don't have to.
That's right. And you can help your loved ones. You don't want them going through all that stress.
Love
Larry,
John Ramsey.
Thank you very much, Larry. Appreciate you. Larry Weiss, once again.